The best anglers see the world differently. Introducing HDS Pro. Prepare for a new fishing perspective. Watch fish reacting to your lure live with best-in-class resolution. And get a more complete picture than other sonars with the option to combine two systems for more views on a single display. Get game-changing clarity in the megahertz range with the new Active Imaging HD sonar covering 3 different underwater views, bringing fish reveal to side scan for the first time and unveiling underwater structure with more precision and clarity than ever before. Find the richest fishing spots with CMAP's charts featuring high-resolution bathymetry, underwater contours, and overlays for live sonar and Ghost 360. Take full control of your boat, bow to stern, with the ultimate fishing system. HDS Pro. Because the more you see, the more you catch.
Hey everybody, AJ McWhorter here, your tournament director for the Hobie Bass Open Series, powered by Lowrance. And we are at the halfway point of our 2024 season. We have had 4 amazing events so far. We've got 4 more to go. The beauty of this series is if you haven't fished with us yet, or maybe you haven't fished as well as you'd like, or as many as you would have liked, you still have ample opportunities through the rest of the year. We've got some great events coming up. We're hitting the Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas region next week. We are going to be on Lake Wright Patman in Texarkana, Texas. It is our first visit to that lake. It is the first national trail series to that lake. Some other professional series have been there in the past, but it's really this lake that everybody drives by to go to other lakes. But it's got a lot of opportunity. So we'll talk a little bit more about Wright Patman as we get a little further along in this live meeting tonight. We also have our other events open for registration. So shortly after Wright Patman, we will be going back to New York, the Finger Lakes region, Cayuga Lake. We're going to be there earlier in the season this year, early June, first weekend of June. We should have some spawning smallmouth. The grass shouldn't be as thick, but it's hard to know. There's a lot of variables. But when we were there at the end of June last year, everybody said, you got to come back earlier. So we did. The Seneca County community is happy to have us back. The anglers locally and nationally showed out for that event. And the fish did also. So registration is open for that. Then we take a little break through the dog days of summer this year. All of June after that is off, all of July. But then we're going back up north. Our first visit to Saginaw Bay and River out of Bay City, Michigan. So that registration is open right now. That should be an awesome place to be in August. It's a tributary and section of one of the Great Lakes. I mean, it's the largest water we've ever been to because it's some of the largest water in the world. We're going to carve out a little piece of it, make it our own in August, and have a lot of fun up in Michigan. There is no better place in August when it's hot everywhere else and fish have been beat down than to get into our northern states like Michigan and get out on some awesome fishing and some just amazing waters. Then we wrap up the season, Lake Chickamauga, Dayton, Tennessee. We are kind of working through some things with the host community there. There were some scheduling challenges. We're hoping to be able to maintain the date that we published, but right now I just took registration down for just a moment while we kind of finalize some things that we thought were already finalized, but that's how it goes sometimes. So we'll get you all updated on that as soon as possible. And then it all wraps up at the end of the year at the Tournament of Champions, Santee Cooper Lakes, Clarendon County. There's so many opportunities to qualify. So our automatic qualifiers, we're halfway through those. Those are attendance based. So depending on how many anglers show up, depends on how many anglers automatically qualify. As the numbers grow in each event, the amount of qualifiers grow in each event. Any of those that don't get utilized in an event due to average or certain levels of attendance, those will then get put into the points race. So the points race will come down to an angler's best 3 events. If you're looking at the Angler of the Year board, a lot of the anglers that have fished with us have fished 1 or 2. Not many of them have got in for 3. So obviously we've got 4 more events left. Those anglers are probably going to, fish a couple of them, but it's not about how many you fish. It's about how well you fish in the ones that you do fish. So if you're in the north or central part of the country, anything like that, you've got chances to stack on some points, get qualified. There's going to be, unofficially, because those numbers are going to be dictated by how many people show up at events. There's going to be, 30 to 35 spots additional to the automatic qualifiers to get you in to the Tournament of Champions, where 65 anglers will be fishing for 3 days. Santee Cooper Lakes, over the past few years, we've paid out over $70,000 to that field. So it's one of the most exclusive, highest paying championship events that our sport has ever seen. And it's a good time. You're going to want to be there. So look at our calendar, figure out where you're going to come, comment on the video. Let us know where we're going to see you. We're looking forward to seeing you halfway through the season, but we're just getting into some good stuff. With that said, Angler of the Year, we just posted up the top 10 in the current AOY standings. You can go to hobiebos.com, Angler of the Year at the top. 2024 is the year. And at the top of that list, you will see Mr. Russ Snyder's holding it down with 574 points. Now, that's 3 events. But in second, Nick Huddleston with a strong finish last month on Lake Norman. He's up to 546. Brian Nelly, he has been consistent all year so far. He's a former grand champion of a tournament champions on Caddo. He's got 542. Garen Butler has had a great start to his season. He's sitting with 532. Garrett Wade sitting with 519. Joshua Deal sitting at 506. Andrew Wilson, he is a collegiate angler, but also fishes on the BOS side as well, from Campbellsville University out of Kentucky. He's sitting with 495. He's got a 1-point lead on Brett Cotard at 494. That is now a 3-way tie with Dustin Jones and Adam DeWitt. So there's plenty of time. All of those anglers are hoping to cull one of their events. And there's a lot of anglers that still have an opportunity to get in this thing. So check out the schedule, check it all out, find the ones that you want to fish. Now, if you're trying to be strategic, one might say that the very next event could be the one of the year that, even not the best finish could still come out with a lot of points. So every year there's events that maybe don't have as many anglers as other events. So folks really strategize going to that one if they really need to maximize their points. Right now, numbers are a little low for Wright Patman. So if you're trying to be very strategic about points, you definitely want to look at that one. Try to make it happen. Regular registration ends this Friday. You'll be able to get in there. The following Wednesday is when the late registration period ends. So Wright Patman, Lake Texarkana, Texas is the next one. Currently, that lake is off limits. Practice will open up on Saturday and run through Friday. If you are in that event or going to get registered, we'd love for you to go ahead and do so. We'd love to see the kayak community show out for that event. This is a community that has wanted kayak fishing to come in for many years. It just never worked out until this year. They were really excited to bring us out. They've been promoting it. They are excited for the kayak community to come in. So we just need to come in. We need to enjoy that community. All roads through Texas, kind of go through Texarkana. So it's definitely an easy to get to place in a fishery that no one really has a ton of experience on, at least in the kayak side of things. So it could be a really good event to get out there and swing on them. Now, talk to some locals. I'm going to kind of let you know what the situation is. We hope to have a guest on tonight, but unfortunately they weren't able to make it last minute. So they did give us some juice. So I'm going to kind of read you some information. So the current lake level is 230. So it's hard to know what that is unless you're going by, seeing other past numbers. But the lake is falling. So it's been up. It's been in the bushes. It's been high. It's been high, for most of the season. What this particular person who runs a lot of tournaments, bass boat tournaments in that area says is the bite will start to get better as the lake is on the fall. So it is falling. They're saying it's going to get better. There's tons of flooded bushes and backwaters. Anglers can expect fish to be tight to cover with multiple options such as flipping and pitching, spinnerbait, chatterbait, frog and buzzbait. So super shallow, lots of targets, and some very fun and aggressive ways to target them. Leave that forward facing at home. Get the power pole out, maybe some shallow water stuff, get out there, flip bushes, throwing frogs, throwing buzz baits, throwing moving baits, up against cover in some tight quarters, in some areas that don't normally have water on them. So definitely some of my favorite ways to fish in the spring is kind of the flooded areas where you can just get in there and every place looks like it's got a bass on it. It could be a lot of fun. He also went on to say that if the lake continues to fall or stabilize, it will be the first time in 2024 that it's happened. And it'll help kind of stabilize where the fish are going to be as well. Fishing, because of this, has been a little challenging earlier in the spring, but it has continued to get better over the last few weeks. And he anticipates, with the full moon this week, warming trend, the lake stabilizing, that we anticipate, over the next couple weeks, the bite to get really strong. This is a lake that, your average size fish in this lake are going to be, in the 3 to 4 pound range as far as like your kind of your higher end average. There's obviously a lot of smaller fish, but there are bigger fish in there. I mean, it's a southern lake that has good, fish in there, and they're going to be accessible. They're going to be shallow. And we know that our kayak anglers are going to be able to get out there after them. When you look at the lake, it obviously looks big and large and all those things. But when you start getting into the tributaries and things like that and the bays, there's a lot of good stuff out there, a lot of good stuff to fish. I know there's been an Elite Series events there in the past, and NFLPA or NPFL, I'm sorry, was there. And those anglers had a ball. They caught a lot of fish, good limits. But most importantly, with any tournament, there's a check to be won. So it's not necessarily about where you're at, about what's going on that lake. It's about who overcomes all the things over 2 days to go home with the big trophy and the big check. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, those areas have always shown out for us. So we look forward to seeing those folks come out for our last event in that region for this season. So if you fished Sam Rayburn, if you are going to fish this event, you can obviously look and say, all right, well, we can come to Chickamauga and have a chance at this thing to not only rise up into maybe Angler of the Year or to just get into that top 30, 35 and get qualified for our Tournament of Champions. So a lot of good stuff going on. There's still a lot at stake. We look forward to seeing y'all Texarkana, Texas. A lot of good hotels there. There's a lot of places to stay. A lot of good food, all those things. You can find information about that community in the event page, just like you can any of our upcoming events. We've got, like I said, Cayuga 4 weeks from now. We've got a nice little break in the summer. Then we'll stay north for Saginaw River and Bay in August. And then September, we'll be on Lake Chickamauga, Dayton, Tennessee. Nothing to say there. I mean, it's the Tennessee River. It's kind of late season. Grass will be thick. Fish will be shallow, deep, everywhere in September. And it'll be a fun way to end the season. So we look forward to seeing you all. There's a lot of appreciation for the anglers that have supported us so far this season. We look forward to seeing many of y'all throughout the rest of the season. We got to thank all of our great sponsors, Lowrance, Newport. I got actually my 180 Pro. If y'all aren't familiar with the new motor from Newport, you're going to have to check it out. It is everything they said it's going to be. It is an awesome product. It can go on any kayak that you're using. It's not too small for a Pro Angler 14. It's not too big for a Pro Angler 12. It's kind of just this perfect size that isn't too big, too bulky. It doesn't require too much of a battery. So make sure you check that out. Also, spend a little bit of time on the water. Got to use my Lowrance Pro. The 10 is what I went with this year. That's a great unit, super clear. St. Croix rods, always feeling nice. They've got a new rod that they released at the Bassmaster Classic, physics rod, but they've got a great lineup, all sorts of price points. So if you're in the market for a new rod, check out St. Croix. Some of our great accessory brands, Burley Pro and Railblazer, Yak Gear. They all offer solutions and fine items to kind of help make things easier, whether it's rigging or mounting solutions. We're starting to get into the warmer months. You need an Engel cooler or an Engel like tumbler. Just great products. These folks support us. They make great products. You just want to check them out. Marine mat, one of my favorite accessories to put on a kayak. Dampens the sound, makes the boat look better. It keeps it cooler. It's just a great accessory to kind of keep things from moving around, making a bunch of noise. So you definitely want to check those out. And then FPV Power. Make one of the most unique, lightest, watertight batteries out there. They've got a lot of great stuff. Check them out. It's important for us to support the brands, that support kayak fishing. They're the ones that do all that. So make sure you check out these brands before you make your next purchase. And also, check out Hobie. If you're looking for your next kayak, maybe an additional kayak, there's some awesome new colors from Hobie. There's the new Pro Angler 360 XR that just improved an amazing product that was already out there. So definitely check out the brands and the sponsors that support kayak fishing. So thank them. We couldn't do what we do without them. Couldn't do what we do without Steve Fields in the background. But most importantly, we couldn't do what we do without all of y'all anglers. We're looking forward to seeing you in Texarkana, Texas in a couple weeks. Go ahead, get registered, get signed up for Wright Patman Lake, and we will catch you down the road and tight lines between now and then. Thank you all.